Thank you for joining the Cleaning Strike Team presentation, part 2. We're going to do this again. And yes, thank you. This strike team is a collaborative effort with CCS and CHS recruiting for the COVID cleaning strike team. This team works quickly to respond to high priority cleaning requests using our COVID cleaning protocol. I hosted 3 trainings on the cleaning COVID protocol, if you recall, a couple weeks ago. I do have it recorded, so you are able to view that recording at your leisure, and I will send the link out after this, post it in the Teams site for the COVID cleaning strike team. I just want to say thank you so much for volunteering. You all are the best. This is a super essential function, and we are really needing a lot of help with this right now. So the idea is that when we have exposure at a site, at a shelter, or at one of our public sites, and we're not able to, everything always happens, on the weekend, right? And coming in Monday, trying to call a vendor in on Monday is extremely difficult because they're busy as well. So we want to make sure that we're able to keep our sites open and functioning and able to serve our clients. And so we felt that if we have an in-house cleaning team that was able to respond in fairly short notice and able to just get in there and get it done so that we could keep serving our clients every day, that would be really helpful, especially given the volume that is going through the system right now. So I know this is all kind of new and there's probably lots of questions. Feel free to ask the questions in the little chat box, and I will be paying attention to those throughout. So basically we are going to go over the intentions, the protocol, sort of what it looks like on the ground for this strike team through this presentation. So in the next week or so, I think each of the regions will, region coordinators will be reaching out to their teams to talk about orientation, check in on your training needs levels, and coordinating the effort of, how are you going to respond in specific areas, making sure that each of you has all of the addresses and knows where to go in the event of a need for a response. We're also working on a regional level to create response totes. So we'll talk a little bit about what's going into that in a few minutes. Yay. In addition to just being awesome, wonderful people, we have an incentive program. So there's an incentive bonus of $125 for for a response, a morning cleaning response, so basically a half-day cleaning. It goes up to $225 if it tends to be a longer day and there's more of a cleaning response needed. We know this is pulling you away from your regular schedule and your regular routine and duties and stuff, and it's a little bit can be a little bit stressful. So we're looking to provide incentive bonuses that'll go right on your paycheck. So you could look for that on your next paycheck. You'll still receive your regular pay, of course. If you're an exempt employee, you still need to figure out how to fit your regular job duties in and coordinate with other folks to help meet those requirements. If you're non-exempt, so you're an hourly employee, you may need to, after doing this cleaning, go back to your site and make sure things are still rolling along as normal there. That could trigger some overtime and supervisor approvals needed. So, if you get a call up to come and help out, we want to make sure that your supervisor doesn't just think, where is he? Or she, or, where are you at and what are you doing? So we want to make sure that everybody knows where you're at. So again, get your supervisor approval and let them know where you're going to be. So team in action. So what can you expect? So when you receive the call, the coordinator will schedule your time and place to respond. So they will let you know, here's what the needs are. We're asking for, 4 people to show up, and we need you there at 8 a.m. And here's what you can expect. Here's the level of cleaning and where we're going to be at. You're going to need to, again, check in with your supervisor. And your team coordinator will let you know, who has the tote. So someone on the team will grab the tote and take it there. When you get to the site, everyone will walk the site with the site director. So whoever the normal director is, the day-to-day person at the site, they're going to know best what needs to be addressed. They're going to know what spaces need to be cleaned. So if there was an exposure, say, at a shelter, it may be that the client was only in one really specific area, or it may be that they were in like all over the building. So you'll have to you'll determine what spaces are addressed and whether high touch areas, or you can do a real deep dive, wipe everything down, clean, disinfect and clean everything. Someone's not on mute.
Hey, Tanya, can you please mute your phone?
There
Please
we go.
mute.
I muted her. There you go. So what goes in your response totes? So we'll be building a response totes. The response totes will contain personal protective equipment, cleaning products and cleaning equipment, of course, and we'll be finding a central storage location for easy access. So so that if you do get the call, the person that is, taking the lead on that team for that day will be able to grab the storage tote. Right now, we're finding, as we're building our response totes, we're finding supplies are limited. So we're sort of asking, what can you bring? So if you're working at a property management site and you have a respirator that you're able to, an extra respirator you're able to borrow, let your team coordinator know that you have a respirator you can borrow, you have goggles, maybe you have Tyvek suits or gloves, but the personal protective equipment, we're trying to have them provided. We're trying to have them in the response totes, but right now we're having a bit of difficulty in some cases finding the and requisitioning the. So if you have it, just make sure that you let your team coordinator know, hey, I have a respirator, I'm happy to bring it. And we just want to make sure that everybody has what they need to be safe, to be covered. So the process, so when you get there and after you've walked through the site, you have your personal protective equipment on, you've got your cleaning and disinfecting materials, you're going to do the cleaning and disinfecting process per our cleaning protocol training. Again, that's been recorded and we are happy to share it with you. It's also in a written format, so you can read through that as well. Again, as we talked about in the cleaning protocol training, you can't really disinfect a surface until you've cleaned it. So let's make sure that we are wiping down and cleaning the surfaces and then are disinfecting all of the surfaces per the cleaning protocol, and using the bleach and disinfectant proportions correctly. If you have a fogger in your area, use the fog, clean and disinfect the surfaces, use the fogger as the last before you are going out, and that'll just apply a bit of a protective film on the surfaces to be able to hopefully extend the disinfecting principles a little bit longer than just the normal disinfecting. Before you go out, review the cleaning protocols, make sure that you understand what's involved in it, and your site coordinator will be reviewing with you as well to make sure that everyone understands what is needed and doesn't have any, able to answer all of the questions about it. And again, feel free to review the recorded training on that as well. You can also reach out to me. I'm happy to go over it with you and answer any questions. Available for that whenever you need. And hopefully we all are able to really provide a great service to our clients and to our fellow team members who are working in these sites with clients and are face-to-face with folks. So hopefully that answers. If anybody has any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box or speak up, unmute yourself and ask away.
Hey, Suzanne, this is Shannon from Bremerton. I do have a question. So I know you were talking about the totes and like having like totes at centralized locations, but are you wanting each of us for our individual sites and totes to order Tyvek suits as well?
That's going to be up for, I think, Linda Lou's team's doing things a little bit. I think, Linda Lou, you were instructing folks to have totes at each location, correct? And yeah, so Tyvek Suits will protect your clothes from using bleach and the other disinfecting stuff, so we do recommend them. But again, like I said, it's been hard to find stuff, so.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I'm like looking at them right now and like, so did you want like if we're able to get them, want the full suit where it covers your head too, or just up to the collar?
Well, for up to the collar, I think is fine. It's your personal preference for that. If you want to cover your head and your hair, I prefer the kinds that just come up and then I wear the goggles and the respirator. I mean, you get pretty covered with all of that anyway. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Sure. We're trying to. I
have a question though, Shannon. Sorry, Suzanne. Did you find Tyvek Suits?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I'm seeing one right now for like $14.99. Delivering, earliest to deliver is the week of the 22nd. It's a non-hooded one. It's only up to the collar.
Can you share that link in the comments section there?
I sure will. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
I'm going to check a couple of places too. There's like Sherwin-Williams and paint companies. They frequently have Tyvek suits that maybe are still available. And then I was also going to check with some of our emergency response folks. So like Interstate Restoration. There's some restoration team insurance folks we've used in the past, and they might be able to part with a few for us. So I was going to check with them as well. If you have other resources in your area, other vendors you've used, check in with them and see if they have them available. That might be they might have a hidden cache somewhere. I'm just reaching out to my network.
Well, for a huge bundle of the things that we have designated as would go into totes, I have had an extraordinarily hard time finding, because some of the vendors that we used prior to this, we had bought a lot of these supplies, and yeah, we just don't have access anymore. So I'm going to have to follow up some of your leads, Suzanne, as far as painting stores and things of that nature.
Yeah, and I'll let everybody know if I find pay dirt anywhere as well, and if you do too, that would be great. I've had
a hard time with Ranger, HD Supply. Any of those companies are all sold out.
Yeah, but maybe tipping under some rocks that we might not find would be good.
Okay.
And it's making me rethink how we're stocking stuff going forward. So after this is all said and done, man, I'm gonna turn into one of those prepper hoarder people. I'm gonna have like all the gloves in my office.
Sorry, I was laughing on mute. I had to unmute to laugh.
Yeah, cool. All right, is any other questions? Everybody fairly clear on what's expected if you were to respond to a cleaning request, a strike team event. Great. If there is any questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out, and I hope that you will have, like, this is a really, kind of a stressful time, but I hope you have a little bit of fun with this if that's possible, and it would be great to check back in a couple weeks and see how it's going.
Hey, I just would like to chime in too, if you don't mind. Everybody on this call, please, if you can, encourage other folks that want to potentially be part of this team to get involved. All hands on deck are necessary. There is incentive involved. I know that if somebody might not be able to help out in the daytime, they might be able to have only nighttime hours or daytime, but it's available to all staff, exempt or non-exempt. So yeah, feel free to pass this information along, and if they want more information on the strike team, they can reach out to myself or Suzanne or anybody in their direct leadership chain of command, and they can get them going in the right direction.
Diana, I'm not asking you to bring all your own protective equipment. We're asking if you have stuff to identify it and bring it if you can. And let your team coordinator know what you have on hand. If you have nothing, that's fine. Just let them know that you don't have anything. But, if you have a respirator at your office or at your home, that would be great. So we just have short supplies. All right, well, thank you guys. And I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon and a lovely half day tomorrow. And a happy Easter. So have a great Good Friday and a happy Easter weekend. And I look forward to touching base with you all in a week or so. All right.
Perfect. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thanks.